There are lots of reasons to believe in a dog food brand. Great nutrition, great price, and your dogs love the taste. But what if it's also made for Caribbean dogs? No artificial colors or flavors, with an eye on the environment, so we only use paper bags. Then you will be just as happy as your dog, truly. It's true, we love dogs.
For centuries, dogs have been man's best friend for several reasons. One of them, protection. Today we'll be looking at protection with Delon Woolery. Out. Welcome to Purebred Dogs JA. We'll be looking at protection in St. Elizabeth, Santa Cruz today. Let's go. Welcome to Purebred Dogs JA.
Thanks for having me.
Who is the dog trainer extraordinaire, Delon Woolery?
Well, my name is Delon Woolery at Unique Kennels, a Woolly Canine. The reason why you have two names to it, the Unique Kennels is the breeding aspect of it, while Woolly Canine is the training part of it, because we are really big on the breeding first before the training. As a motto for us, we always believe that it's 80% breeding and then the 20% training.
Oh, all right. How long have you been a trainer?
That's a good question. So I have always been training on the smaller level of things because we've grown up around dogs for most of our life. But this really started out 2018. And I'm not really going into full details, but it was a life and death situation that inspired
you being
this.
a trainer.
Yes, and to actually go with the specific breeds that we're dealing with because we needed reliability.
Okay, so we're going to look at protection in its entirety today. Let's go. All right. So, Wooly, I know based on research, starting the dogs too young in terms of training may damage them psychologically. See, in a better sense, you may have crazy dogs.
All right, I understand where you're going with that. But the thing is that training should not be centered on actually putting young pups in defensive drive and those type of things. Okay. You find a lot of persons try to pressure young dogs, and the real pressure actually comes like when there's mental maturity, 18 months and so forth. That's when damage is really done. But simply to get pups in drive and teach them to just to chase things in prey, that's all fine because you're gonna use that to train the dogs.
Okay.
You know, one of the best things to use also is food. That's where we start because the obedience part of it, food is the best motivation to use, because if you work them in drive or try to use toys, you find out that you get a lot of neurosis with the behavior of the puppy, so they don't think straight when they're actually doing a thing. But food is the best thing to start out with, so you can't make a mistake training the dog with food.
Yeah. How old are these pups?
Right, so
weeks?
These are now 9 weeks old.
9 weeks old.
All right.
So they would have already been started.
Yes.
Training.
Yes.
Right? So where are they now?
Well, basically what we're doing with them right now is doing the same puppy bite work and stuff. I'm gonna put them in drive.
All right.
And let you see them work. This is what you're seeing is not aggression. It is actually working in prey.
Okay.
And prey drive is actually just chasing an object.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So if we use sound to stimulate them, you'll see it come out and you'll see them grab onto the pants. It's not aggression. This is something that is inherent within the breed of Dutch Shepherds and Malinois.
Okay. Why sound?
Yeah, in terms of sound, that's something that's bred within them. The persons who actually came up with this breed, let's say for instance you're actually in a situation where there's gunfire and so forth, a lot of these dogs would actually respond to it. Okay. Instead of, you have had situations where when there's gunfire, dogs run away from the situation.
Yeah.
These dogs would not do that. As a matter of fact, they would run towards the situation. So what you would do is actually desensitize them to sound, so that, say for instance, you were gonna be using it in military or police work. They try to desensitize them to sound so that they are not sound aggressive, because that could even lead to friendly bite, where the officer is discharging his weapon and the dog directs to him. You know, so it's something that stimulates them.
Okay. All right. Now the way to show us to get these pups in drive.
All right, here we go. Are you ready? Now this is ideal here, because notice those two are not showing the interest like these two are. So this is a part of the selection process. You need to find those who are engaged, just like this. You see this? So my pick, because of the program that I want, would be these two first. She chimes in after. In the selection of puppies, you would find what you call the leader, the follower, the one that is aloof, and then the one that is apprehensive. This one here is the leader. This one is the follower. This one is aloof. The one that's apprehensive, you see, no interest. He goes about doing his own thing. You understand?
One behind the fence.
We have to see what category. Take him out that side and let's see. So these three are pretty consistent, you see? So these would be the first choice in the program. Because one of the worst things you can do is to get a dog that doesn't enjoy the work and then to force them into it, because you end up creating fear biters, you know, and that dog is unsafe. You know, you always want a dog that enjoys what they're doing. Yeah. All right, put it.
Now let's take a look at the protection dogs.
When we enter, we first went to the left of the kennel where you had saw an adult Malinois, and then two to the back. Those two are the F2s of the Malinois project, because I'm not really where I need to be right now. You understand? I'm aiming to go somewhere at the 4th generation of the breeding, because I would love to establish my own line. You know, there has been quite a few setbacks, because all the dogs, you're not finding the perfect dog. You know, so we look for certain traits within the breed and breed specifically for what we want. You understand? We've had Malinois that they wouldn't bite a fly. You know, and we had to start over. But the reason why we actually continue with the Malinois and the Dutch Shepherd breed is that they're more consistent, because I've tried almost all the breeds here, you know, and when I say almost, that's for protection. You know, in Jamaica, you really have what you call the big four, the German Shepherd, the Doberman, the Rottweiler, and the Pit Bull, you know, and outside of that, it's more like a novelty here. You know, because even now, the Dutch Shepherd is still considered a rare breed, even in the world. You know, we choose specifically though, even with the breed, to go the KNPV side of things, and the reason for that is that they are known for tougher dogs. You know, the KNPV, I know you might probably ask what that is. These dogs hail from Holland. You know, it started out as NPV, meaning the Dutch Police Association. When the royal family took it up, then they call it now the KNPV, the Royal Dutch Police Association. So the program which I have, the dog must be tough. You understand?
All right, so who is this?
So this right here now is Spike. He's an 8-month-old Dutch herder. And one of the things I was talking to you about after selection is getting the proper bite work done.
Yeah.
So we're gonna show you how we're actually developing the bite, what stage we're at this stage.
Yeah, so showing us the progression
Yes.
of protection.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Good boy. Good. How's the angle? Yes. Good. Good boy. Good boy, Spike. So, as you're actually looking at this now, you notice the dog is really sinking into the bite. No lot of mouthing and growling and stuff. You want this type of stability with the dog. You know, you're not hearing like he's angry or anything. You need this when you're choosing your dogs. Slip and go. Good boy.
Alright, Wooly, I realize when you introducing the kennels and the dogs,
Right.
it is dominated by Malinois, right? But I have realized I saw a checkline shepherd,
Yes.
and I saw a Mastiff, right? In terms of the Mastiff is like a different from all shepherd-looking dogs.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, originally I had wanted to do a Mastiff type of program, and I just wasn't finding that which was suitable. And the one that you're seeing there is actually a filler mix. If you think about like superhero, about the Hulk, in one series they would tell him to get angry and he said, "I'm always angry." That's the type of dog that's there. And so I find it not necessary to be breeding that program a lot, because if people are struggling to deal with some of these breeds already, this caliber of dog cannot be in any hand. So that has been set aside for now. The more people get experience and start to deal with these working type dogs, then I would probably consider moving along with that program.
And that's a filler Brasileiro,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And it's a Mastiff breed.
Yeah.
dog.
So it's a filler bull mastiff mix.
Oh.
But the temperament is right just on the filler side of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's check out this protection dog.
All right.
All right.
Oh boy. Don't turn. Good boy, Butch.
What happened to you, man? that was a work. That was a workout.
I was thinking you guys were gonna take this one out last. that felt like I was behind a truck trying to hold it back.
And he's a part of your program.
Yeah, but not the immediate, because we need persons who have experience to deal with this type. I could have started this project quite a while back, but the struggle with responsible owners are the problem. We've seen a lot of the dog biting issues, recently, and I do not want to produce dogs that are going to be a liability to society.
Interesting you say that. In terms of training, right? You train these dogs. But one of the things we want to look at, and it has been an issue, integration of protection dogs within the family. I want to know, how do you go about having that? Because so from a friend of mine experience, he got his dog trained,
Right.
but he had to give away the dog after a while, because that integration process did not work out. Because what that means that the dog started to bark at his wife and started to bark at his children. He was the only person who could handle the dog, and most of the times he's not here in terms of he's off the island. I want to know how you integrate your training dogs, within your family and the dogs that you would have trained for other families as well.
Yeah. The first thing is the socialization part of it, because if we don't deal with the dogs like they're just tools and they're locked away and then until it's time for training, no, they're a big part of the family life. They have free access to the house and everything, and at times they run out altogether.
In terms of the integration of family, right? When you train a client, how you get to integrate everybody within that household with the dog?
That's a good question. The problem or the challenge that we find is that sometimes in a household, not everybody is on board with the dog. When we have everybody agreeing and enjoying the dog, then it's an easy transition. you know, because it's not one person feeding the dog. The dog is among the family members and so forth. You invite friends over and the dog, you know, just be a part of the scenery and stuff, because you want them to be able to be shown so many pictures that they can be able to decipher between threat and non-threat.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to have a look at how Wooly integrate his son with the protection dogs he has.
So this dog pretty much can be used with everyone.
Alright, Wooly, so earlier I saw a box. Alright? What is the purpose of that?
That's just another tool used for the bite development of the dog. You know, among the experts though, you find it a controversial thing, because some persons think that, you know, the dog doesn't have a chance to withdraw to show the nerves, but that's not what we use it for. We already breed the dogs with strong enough nerve, but to develop the bite, it comes in handy some of the times to get proper grips and possessiveness.
Okay, so we're going to do a little demonstration within the box.
Very good. Sure.
Now we're nearing the end of the show, but as you know, can't end the show without catching a bite. Alright? Now we have the obstacle set up here, but just before, we're going to have Wooly just to tell you where you can find him.
Now, on IG, it's Wooly K9, and on Facebook, it is Unique Kennels.
Alright, so let's go. That concludes another episode of Purebred Dogs JA. Today we focused on protection training here in St. Elizabeth with Wooly K9. Just before we go, don't forget, like, comment, share and subscribe, and follow us on social media at Purebred Dogs JA on all social media platforms. Thank you.